Important recall notice for you this morning. The FDA says nearly 100 people have gotten sick from a salmonella outbreak linked to recalled eggs. The products are from the California-based company Country Eggs. Their sunshine yolks and omega-3 golden yolks are now recalled. Federal officials report at least 100 people in 14 different states got sick after eating the eggs. 2 of those cases were reported in Colorado. The cartons were sold between June 16th and July 9th.
In a devastating incident on Saturday morning, 14 lives were lost in a horrific head-on collision on Highway B1 near Marientai, located around 270 kilometers from Windhoek in Namibia. According to police, the crash involved a police van and a vehicle from the Namibian Prison Service. Hadab's Deputy Police Commissioner John Mwatongela reported that the police vehicle was carrying 6 individuals, including 5 officers and 1 civilian, while the prison service vehicle had 13 occupants on board. 3 others sustained serious injuries. In a tragic train accident in Matruh on August 30th, the Egyptian Ministry of Health has reported 3 fatalities and 103 injuries. The incident occurred when 7 carriages traveling from Massa Matruh to Alexandria derailed between Fuka and Galal stations due to track subsidence. The derailment happened around 3:30 p.m. in the local time in the desert area, causing 2 of the carriages to overturn. Hospitals throughout Matruh and nearby regions were placed on high alert, with over 50 ambulances dispatched to assist the injured. By evening, 87 of those injured had been treated and discharged. Kamel El Wazir, the Minister of Transport, visited the scene and ordered the formation of a technical committee to investigate the cause of the derailment. He emphasized that anyone found responsible will face immediate dismissal. An emergency unit was also established to oversee the situation and assess the condition of the injured. Meanwhile, searches were still ongoing to identify any additional victims. The incident comes amid rising concerns about rail safety in Egypt, as 220 rail accidents were reported in 2024, resulting in 57 deaths.
Demonstrators gathered in Fort Lauderdale to protest Florida's order to remove rainbow-colored crosswalks and other street art throughout the state. Organizers called yesterday's rally "We Will Not Be Erased." The goal was to push back against a new state law ordering communities to remove the crosswalks. Last month, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy gave Florida's governor 60 days to improve road safety by getting rid of the crosswalks. The Florida Department of Transportation says markings and signage that don't have to do with traffic can be distracting. Most of the painted crosswalks celebrate the LGBTQ+ and Black communities. Critics say the new law is just the latest attack on the LGBTQ+ community by the Republican-controlled legislature.
We have been attacked for decades. It's like we get some rights and then they try to take it away. And here, listen, it's starting in schools, right? Like the elimination of the clubs and then books. And now we're talking about street art that doesn't hurt anybody. They want to take the visibility of the LGBTQ community away.
If the crosswalks are not removed, they could lose millions of dollars in state transportation funding.
In a significant move, the Mexican government plans to increase tariffs on imports from China. This decision aligns with its broader economic initiative, Plan Mexico. The goal of these increased tariffs is to shield Mexican businesses from cheap Chinese imports. These imports have often displaced local products, raising concerns over economic independence. U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has long urged Mexico to take this step. Sources indicate that higher tariffs will target a variety of products, including cars, textiles, and plastics. By doing this, Mexico aims to support its domestic manufacturers against subsidized Chinese competition. Another key objective of Plan Mexico is to reduce reliance on imports from China and other Asian countries. In recent years, Mexico's expenditure on Chinese imports has surged, leading to a record trade deficit. Currently, Chinese goods entering Mexico face various tariffs. For instance, there's a duty of up to 20% on Chinese vehicles and a 25% tariff on footwear. Many other products also face tariffs ranging from 5% to 50%. Raising these tariffs could improve Mexico's position in upcoming trade reviews, particularly concerning the USMCA. This would help to appease US and Canadian leaders who have raised concerns about Mexico's increasing ties with China. However, imposing higher tariffs may create challenges for Mexican consumers. Chinese cars, which have gained popularity in Mexico, could become less competitive in price. There's a suggestion that Mexico could implement quotas on Chinese vehicles to balance economic interests and consumer accessibility. As President Claudia Sheinbaum navigates these complexities, the government's choices will be crucial. In summary, Mexico's tariff strategy represents a bold step towards economic protectionism. The government aims to balance domestic industry protection with international obligations. For updates on this evolving situation, stay tuned.
Massive protests have erupted across Australia, with thousands protesting against growing immigration into the country. The centre-left government has denounced these mass rallies as racist, linking its participants to modern-day neo-Nazis. Held under the banner of March for Australia, the protest took place in Sydney and regional centres like Melbourne, Brisbane, Canberra, Adelaide, Perth, Hobart. Anywhere between 5,000 and 8,000 protesters hit out at the Anthony Albanese government. In several places, police used pepper spray to stem protests.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Right-wing protesters draped in Australian flags charged the Australian government of failing to crack down on rising immigration and securing Australian interests.
We don't mind having other people from other countries come into this country, but when you bring in cells of people that don't like us, cells of people that are from a certain organisation that think they're going to kill us and we're going to live under their law, things need to stop very, very fast. And Mr Albanese must be getting a big fat paycheck somewhere for all this to happen.
The Australian government has since condemned the mass rallies, with Murray Watt, a senior minister in the Labor government, accusing the rally of spreading hate and being divisive in nature. Simultaneously, the Australian Council of Social Service released a statement rejecting it in strongest terms of all forms of racism, fascism, hate speech and bigotry. The rallies come at a time when half the nation's population is either born overseas or has a parent who is from abroad. A counter-protest organised by the Refugee Action Coalition also took place in Sydney, with hundreds turning up to oppose the mass anti-immigration rally.
And Russia and China are opposing what they call discriminatory sanctions against BRICS nations. Speaking to reporters at the SCO summit in Tianjin, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the two nations stand united in strengthening BRICS' ability against global challenges. Well, this after Brazil reportedly called for an emergency BRICS summit alarmed by the United States' rising trade barriers and global actions that threaten multipolarity. Tariffs of up to 50% have been imposed on imports from both Brazil and India, jeopardizing key sectors and diplomatic ties. Brazil reportedly is now seeking to rally BRICS leaders for an urgent meeting, aiming to counter US-driven disruption and to defend a more balanced world order. Now, the ongoing Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit offers a tense backdrop, with Russia, China and India all navigating a climate of increased tension with Washington. US relations with these global powers are hampered by sanctions, tariffs and fierce policy disagreements. Now, as Brazil pushes for a united BRICS response, geopolitical fault lines only widen. Emerging powers now gather, seeking to shape a more inclusive and resilient system, one that challenges singular dominance and strives for genuine multipolar balance. The original BRIC nations, Brazil, Russia, India and China, held their first summit in 2009, which is 8 years after former Goldman Sachs economist Jim O'Neill coined the acronym for the group of emerging economies he said would challenge the G7 group of rich countries in the future. South Africa became the S in BRICS 2 years later, and the club now comprises 11 countries, including Indonesia, Iran and Saudi Arabia, as well as a further 9 partner countries, including Malaysia, Nigeria and Thailand.